Cersei, what do you have to say about your representation in this? Speechless. I know.
She does not speak when spoken to. What a thing for a Jellicle Cat to do.
Oh my god. Ow!
Ho, 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 Joe. Welcome to the first ever Trashmas. It is our Christmas episode here on Hot Trash Unlimited, the show where me, Caleb,
Me, Joe.
go to see the best movies. Joe.
Let me get Cersei out of here.
Our special guest this episode is Joe's cat, Cersei. A little bit of lore for all of you. I am allergic to cats. So we have to kick Cersei out of the room.
I just want to preface this. We saw Black Christmas last week, and that kind of broke me, so we didn't do an episode on this. So yeah, I went from one strong emotion to another strong emotion this week.
This has been a hard 2 weeks for you, because Black Christmas, you were very upset.
I was at a loss for words. I couldn't form coherent sentences.
And on top of that, it's just not interesting enough to make a episode on.
Bad.
But for our very first Trashmas, we saw Tom Hooper's Cats.
Tonight is a magical night where I choose the cat that deserves a new life.
Going to the ball could get dangerous.
Joe, what is Cats about?
Great question, because the movie sure doesn't know. Cats is a Broadway musical that had success for some odd reason.
Well, it was written by Lord Andy, everyone's favorite hack. I shouldn't say that.
Tom Hooper is the hack in this situation.
I'm just saying, Lord Andy made Phantom of the Opera, which is more successful than anything I will ever make. Hell, Cats is more successful than anything I will ever make.
Sorry.
Cats is based on a book of T.S. Eliot poems that he wrote for, I think it was his nieces or his nephews. He wrote them for children, and then Andy Lloyd Webber smoked something one day and was like, I can turn this into a musical. But it's not a story-driven musical. It is a show. And I think we need to understand this. This is an excuse for dancing and for songs, but mainly for dancing.
If you want to call people just being horny, rubbing up on each other, dancing, then I guess so.
This is the horniest film of the year.
Oh my lord, the sexual tension with everyone.
They are cats. Very
creepy, uncanny valley, floating faces, clipping through floors, cats.
All right, so let's get the biggest elephant out of the room.
This movie is god ugly.
What is the worst part, though? I assume that everyone on Earth has at least heard about how terrible the trailer is. And I saw it so many times that I had grown numb to it. I was like, okay, this will be bad, but I'll be able... No, what is the worst part? Because each scene presented something new, a new horror.
The scale is one of the things that keeps constantly changing, so you're terrified of what these creatures' size actually is. Ugh. Okay, first terrifying thing is just everybody. Everybody's movements. You're like, we're wisping around. And I get it. It's ballet or whatever. It's still creepy. People are crawling on the floors, man. And they got like not digitigrated stance. So they're just like knees bent and like weird arches to their backs. Then Rebel Wilson pops into the picture, and you see parts of her I never wanted to see ever in my life.
I have no idea what Rebel Wilson's role in this was, because during she's the first cat who gets a long song, and I am laughing the entire time. Not at anything that is going on screen, because it is either like lazy fat jokes or terrifying human faces.
The mice and the roaches.
The cockroaches are worse.
Oh.
That being said, I did not stop laughing for that entire song. I was crying, laughing so hard. It was hilarious. But I don't know what was hilarious about it, because I was definitely not laughing at any of the humor.
No.
I think it was just I was releasing tension from my body. Tension that this movie rightfully built up.
And that was in the first 10 minutes.
The best 10 minutes. I think the first thing that throws you off is the floating faces. It's the annoying orange effects, right?
Mhm.
They take the mouth, the nose, and the eyes, and they really don't take any other facial expression. The faces look so
Certain
thin.
people's cheekbones.
Oh yeah.
Judi Dench's cheekbones.
Well, Jason Derulo's jaw, which just is like clipping through his fur. But all of their faces look extremely long because they do not have human ears now. They've moved the ears up
Well,
to
and
the top of the head.
some people have makeshift fur that looks like hair, so they look a little more human than others. Victoria is the worst offender, where she's just a face on a body.
I'm not sure. Let's get into this. I was going to save this till later. Who do you think Victoria is the worst cat?
I think Victoria is one of the most whatever artist was working on her it wasn't as good as the other artists. I'd have to think of who's the worst.
Well, I've got some options. Judi Dench's mane makes her face like it just emphasizes the floating face effect.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever like the worst cat ever who is like overseeing this silliness.
Oh,
I don't know his name.
Downy Cat, what I kept calling him.
His collar. The name
it's just
tag,
like it's just floating and dangling when there's nothing. It's like he's standing still and his collar's jumping all over the place.
Idris Elba looks, I guess, fine for the
and then
most part.
takes off his fur coat and he has
looks
a weird
naked.
angular body. Ugh. Everybody's like weird, like rounded for the most part. So it's like, okay, they're just kind of like the human form. Idris Elba's ripped, but he has like all this weird human definition.
Mr. Mistopheles, you see his hands the most out of any cat, which is
Jennifer Hudson's hands are pretty scary too. She's got long nails.
But then that's the thing. I think Jennifer Hudson is the worst.
As soon as it gets past her nose, her mouth comes out like an inch from her face.
I think it's safe to say Jennifer Hudson does not look like Grisabella the cat.
No.
But I also feel like the proportions of her face change. Like they're constantly, it's like, how big is her nose going to be? How large are her eyes? It's constantly shifting. It is so creepy.
Oh, that's out of the way.
I feel like we just got a lot of emotion out.
I've been yelling in the car for the past like 15 minutes about this.
Just bewildered. Who greenlit that? What? Universal got that cut of the movie. They're like, yep, we backed this. This will make us money for sure.
Let's take a minute to breathe.
Oh.
Because they sure do in the movie. Every dance scene is split in part by at least 15 seconds of heavy breathing.
Yeah, they forgot to cut the cameras after they finished the takes of the dances where, the dancers are tired as they would be. They just kept the cameras rolling. Like, no, deliver the line now.
Tom Hooper takes the idea of breathing room completely literally. And this is part of what makes it so horny, right? Because like now you just have these people with their heaving bodies and like deep breaths after everything.
Staring at each other with these uncut takes where everybody's just looking into each other, unnaturally close to each other's faces. And then you're expecting them to make out, but no, they just rub up on each other.
Victoria, who is our main cat, who gets nothing to do for an hour, gets abandoned. Or she's...
An hour, that's generous.
Or she's dead and like the owner is throwing her out. I don't know. But then she meets
the Jellicles.
Cats. Joe, what's a Jellicle cat?
Jellicle. Jellicle cats are Jellicle.
What does that mean?
God knows.
God doesn't, but T.S. Eliot does. So then the movie proceeds. And I think it's safe to say that this is a movie almost exclusively made up of character introductions.
Who's that cat? Don't ask that question because it's going to have a 4-minute song attached to it.
But then
you should be scared every time a new person pops onto the screen.
But then Idris Elba is like Jack the Ripper cat, and he's stealing other cats so all the cats are gained together so Judi Dench can decide who goes to heaven, and McCavity wants to be it. So he's stealing all the other cats. And sometimes they have to make a choice based on like their flaw. But then sometimes he can just teleport them to his boat. It's confusing. What do you think about the music, the dancing, and the performances?
Good Lord, I hate that wacky synth that came every now and then where you're just like, oh, I can just hear the Jellicle word attached to it.
This sounds so 80s. They did not do anything to update this
No.
music.
Well, they did during the Jellicle song. Or whatever it's called.
It's all the same song.
But there's like a random hip hop beat they throw in to like make it more modern and upbeat.
I guess they put in a couple 808s with Jason Derulo,
Yeah.
but
Jason Derulo's got like Seinfeld bass lines going behind him every time he's like, bow, 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 bow.
Memories is the only good song in this.
Oh, Memories is amazing.
Okay,
I got zoned out just enough during that performance because I'm like, oh, what a great song where I almost forgot that's Jennifer Hudson in Furry Years. Almost. Didn't get there all the way. But man, that's a good song.
The Train Cat song was fun, but that's because I like tap dancing. So the song wasn't fun. The tap dancing was fun.
Well, I just remembered why people only know Memories from this musical is because every other song is nonsensical and has like nothing memorable about it besides the fact that they repeat the cats' names over and over again in it.
I think you could make a case for old Gus's. Like, the problem is, I love you, Sir Ian McKellen.
I can't understand a thing he's saying in this movie.
I needed subtitles. I feel like that could have been a great song if I could have understood anything. I heard him say Shakespeare once.
Did he?
Yeah.
I'm forgetting that entire song at this point.
I think he said kittens at one point. It's hard to say.
You know what song I remember? Mr. Mistopheles or whatever, because they repeated the same line over. Oh, so what? Clever, whatever.
It's the cleverest of cats, the magical mystery tour. But there are long stretches where it's just instrumentals with them dancing, and I think those are largely good. I don't always think Tom Hooper captures the dancing well, but you can tell that the choreography is good. When it gets super 80s with the guitar riff going and the synth, I can dig it. Like, I was dancing my way out of the theater to this, much to Joe's chagrin.
Who else is in this movie? Taylor Swift is for some reason.
Do you think she did a good job?
I guess. I don't know. I don't exactly know what the like level she had to get to, but maybe she reached it. I don't know.
Her song was fun. I don't think she had... I think
she doesn't have the voice for it, that's for sure.
Well, she like has the personality behind it. I just don't think she has the strength of everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. There was a part where Victoria's having to like help Jennifer Hudson finish the song, and her voice is so weak compared to it. It's like, I mean, she's hitting the notes.
That's the best part of the movie. So there's a dance scene, like a long dance scene, which is good because it's just dancing and it's fun. It also has the best shot in the movie, which is almost completely in silhouette. And it stuck out to me. It was like, oh, that's a decent shot. Oh, because I'm not seeing the cats. And then it goes out. We hear Memories for the first time. Victoria has her first moment of character development an hour into the movie.
Besides her looking just bewildered at all this zaniness that's going on.
A movie that is only defining characters, right? That is all it is. And we do not get anything for Victoria till then. And so I think that plays well. And then I don't remember what happens next, but it doesn't get nearly as entertaining until the train sequence. And then I'm just waiting for the movie to be over. Well, no, because we do get Memories.
Where my head starts hurting the most is because Tom Hooper doesn't understand what size he wants to keep these cats at. When they're on the railroad tracks, they're like the size of fleas.
Also, that's the worst green screen out of a movie that has a lot of bad green screen. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jason Derulo was good.
I guess.
He had a terrible song.
He had a horrible song. I mean, he didn't really have to do much besides be like the rule breaker, the thing that makes the logic of the own movie just fall completely flat on its face.
See, I don't think he's gonna try out for the Jellicle Ball.
No, they said he was one of the cat. They're like, that's Rum Tum Taiga.
Yeah, well, they introduced him, but they introduce everyone in this movie. They also
I get besides main zany cat who's leading everything around.
Yeah, they don't ever introduce him because they're introducing Rebel, and then Zany Cat is like, this is going to be a person who is going to try out. Let us fat shame her. And then I'm laughing for 10 minutes for some reason. And then they're like, oh, and here's Jason Derulo, but they never say he's trying out. He just shows up.
I'm pretty sure he was trying out. I feel like he said he was trying out at one point.
Maybe, but he also, that's the other thing, is a lot of these people, with the exception of Jennifer Hudson, seem like they have a pretty good life going for him. So why would he want to try for a new life?
I don't know, man. It's cats.
Also, James Corbin never says his iconic line from the trailer. Here we go.
He does.
Does he?
Yeah, he says it when he's walking into the house. So in the trailer, he says it when he's falling into a trash can. There's a lot of displaced audio in that trailer now that I'm seeing it. Mm-hmm. This one, he just says it when they're going through the cat door.
Well,
Here we go.
I'll notice it when I see it again because that will probably happen.
I'm so torn.
Why are you torn, Joe?
Because I think this is hot trash.
Well, that's a good place to jump into our ratings here because I think you are very aware of where I'm gonna put this.
Caleb's gonna put this at hot trash.
This is like definitionally hot trash. I was laughing the entire way back, which part of that was because Joe was just randomly yelling things in the car, but I was laughing the entire way back. I was laughing throughout most of the movie.
Caleb got down on the floor at one point. It was just like rolling.
Well, I wasn't rolling on the floor. I was laying on the floor because I was hurting from laughing. I felt so sorry for like the 3 other people in the movie who are probably just normal humans who like, Cats is good, but I've never seen it. Let's go see it in the theater. And then they have these 2 idiots behind them who are just either laughing or like
groaning.
Yeah, the whole time. No, this is hot trash. This is the best hot trash we have had. Charlie's Angels, step aside. This is
Don't
so
do Charlie's
good.
Angels dirty.
9 out of 8 stars. This is wonderful. I love it. Joe?
Yeah.
You don't have to say it's hot trash.
But it is.
Just because it's true. You don't have to admit it.
Though. Like, it's bad, but like,
But is hot trash supposed to hurt you as much as this movie did?
This one didn't hurt. I'm just bewildered. I'm not hurt. This isn't Black Christmas where like I felt my intelligence was insulted. This is just, I'm questioning everybody involved in the making of this movie. Everybody who oversaw anything, who was like, yep, ship it. That's great.
I will say there's something about, kind of the nobility of suffering. And I feel like we are better men because we sat through this movie. Like, I don't know how, but we are.
Now it is time to make the choice.
So that's our review of Cats. I hope that it's been a great Christmas present for you, but we have more to do on this Trashmas, Joe. I didn't prepare you for this because I was laughing too hard in the car. We're going to send one of the movies we have watched, one of the 10 movies on our podcast this year, to the hot trash side layer, the layer in the sky above the hotel where a movie can become the movie it wants to be. It will no longer be good, bad, or hot trash. It's going to be a great movie, a cinematic masterpiece. So, Joe, I'm going to read off the list of movies that we have seen, and you will make the Jellicle choice to decide what movie makes it to the hot trash side layer.
Oh God, what deserves this? Does it have to have been hot trash, or does it?
I'm leaving this up to you. You have suffered enough. You can make this choice. You are the old Deuteronomy, but because of copyright, you have to be the old Leviticus.
I knew you were going to make a biblical reference somewhere.
Spotlight. And a drum roll, please.
Villains deserved better.
Villains.
Think so? Villains, off you go.
Why did it deserve, out of all these other ones?
I was thinking Ready or Not, and then I forgot about villains. And I realized the world forgot about villains, and it did not deserve the straight to Regal only that it got.
Do you think
it didn't even get a review thread on r/movies?
Do you think
I couldn't see what anyone else thought about this movie?
Do you think the world can forget about a movie it does not know about?
If a movie is released and no one watches it, does it exist?
Okay, I'm pretty happy with sending villains to the hot trash side layer. If we're talking about just the best, like definitionally hot trash movie, for me it's definitely Cats.
I'm trying to remember. We rated villains as just good, right?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I think it might have been hot trash. Villains has definitely grown on us the more we've thought about it. It's a movie that has definitely engendered some sympathy.
No, Cats doesn't deserve that.
Oh, I'm not saying. I am agreeing with you that we are going to send off villains.
But you're saying of the best hot trash this year.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Charlie's Angels. There's something endearing about Charlie's Angels, which like that wanted to be this big like go women thing, and just like failed at that, but was still just zany fun at the same time.
It also had we had a great viewing experience.
Yeah.
And finally, what's the worst? What is the movie that's going to get dropped on top of a statue and lose its magic powers?
Oh God, it's between Angel Has Fallen and Doctor Sleep.
Really? Because there's one more that I think you're forgetting.
What?
Countdown.
Countdown's forgettable. Countdown was already condemned by just like me not remembering it. It doesn't deserve to be crushed or anything. I think Angel Has Fallen.
Angel Has Fallen
was just so bland.
Yeah, Angel Has Fallen was pretty generic.
It was bland and it was pretentious. Like it was like, yeah, we're gonna be 2 hours long. Yeah, you're gonna sit through it.
All right, I'm happy with all of those. So our hot trash movie of the year is well, we didn't decide.
No,
but I am willing. No, I'm not willing. No, it's just going to be a tie between Charlie's Angels and Cats. Our worst movie of the year that we saw was Angel Has Fallen.
Yeah,
and then floating off in a chandelier,
what deserved
hot air
better
balloon to a parallel universe where people actually saw it. Villains.
Merry Christmas.
Excuse me, Joe. It's Merry Trashmas. From our family to yours, here at the Hot Trash Movie Unlimited podcast, I forgot the name of. We'd like to wish you the happiest of holidays, the best of New Year's, and the hottest of trash. Thank you, and good night.
Long lay the world